Hi guys, this is Sadik from Debugging.com, and in this video, we'll show you how to root your OnePlus phone running the latest OxygenOS 14 based on Android 14 using Magisk. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone and then let's get started. First and foremost, you will have to download the Android SDK platform tools. So get it from my guide. You could get it from here and then extract them onto your PC. You could extract them anywhere you want. As you could see, I've done the extraction in C drive and these are the files of platform tools. Once that is done, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. USB debugging is required to execute 8-bit commands, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now carry out both this task. For that, go to settings menu on your phone. From there, go to about device, then go to version and tap on version number 7 times. You will now get a prompt that you are now a developer. So now go back, again go back, then go to additional settings. And you should now see developer option. Go there and now enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking. You will get a prompt, tap on enable. Likewise, enable the toggle next to USB debugging as well. You will again get a prompt, so tap on OK. With this, we have enabled both this toggle. Let's now verify the debugging connection. So go to platform tools folder address bar, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt window inside platform tools. So now you have to type in ADB devices and hit enter. And make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then simply unplug and replug your phone from the PC, disable and re-enable USB debugging, tap on revoke USB debugging, use the official cable that came with your phone, and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC. So carry out these USB tweaks and make sure that you are getting an ID. Once you are getting this ID, you are now good to go ahead. So your next course of action is now to unlock the bootloader on your phone. Do note that doing so will wipe off all the data and it might make the warranty null and void as well. So if that's well and good, we could now proceed ahead and unlock the bootloader. So for that, your first course of action should be to boot your phone to Fastboot mode. So let's now get this job done. So open CMD window and type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter. And your phone will now boot into Fastboot mode in a matter of few seconds. So let's just wait for a time frame and then we'll proceed ahead. Do keep in mind that the process will wipe off all the data. So make sure you have taken a backup beforehand. So as you could see, we are now in the Fastboot mode and currently is showing as logged. So this signifies that the bootloader is currently logged. So let's now proceed ahead and unlock the bootloader. So for that, you will have to type in Fastboot, flashing, unlock and hit enter. And you will now get a prompt on your phone. So you will now have to use the volume keys to highlight the option of unlock the bootloader. And then press the power key to confirm. Your device will undergo a reset and after that the bootloader will be unlocked, and from now onwards you will also get a orange state warning message. You could hide this orange state warning after flashing an abl.img file. I have made a video on the same as well and I could make a separate video. If you want, let me know. So you could refer to my video or the guide to remove that yellow warning state. As of now, let's focus on the bootloader unlocking. So your device might undergo a restart a couple of times. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. Moreover, the first time it might take some additional time frame to boot up. This is again completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's just wait for a phone to boot up. So guys, the first boot up after unlocking the bootloader is now complete. So let's now move ahead and do the setup. As of now, I'll skip the initial setup process and simply just make the requirements. Okay, so let me type on next and let me skip that as well. Okay, so skip is here. So let's skip all the stuffs. As of now, we don't require them. So tap on skip again. So the first setup might take up some additional time frame. So let's select gesture and tap on next, done. So with this, we are now in the OxygenOS 14. Okay, so let me show you that as well, just to verify from your end. So you could see that currently I'm running the OxygenOS 14 Android 14 build. You could see from here as well, it's the latest OxygenOS 14 build. And you could also verify the same from the Android version section that I'm running the latest Android 14 build. Anyways, keeping that aside, let's now move ahead with the next step. So now that we have unlocked the bootloader on our phone, we could now move ahead. So now your next course of action is to download the OnePlus firmware. The firmware is required to extract the Boot.img or the init Boot.img file. So regarding this, there is an important change beginning with Android 13. If your phone came with Android 12 or older version, you still have to use the Boot.img file. On the other hand, if your phone came with Android 13 or higher version, then you have to use the initboot.img file for rooting your device. So again, I'm repeating, if your phone came with Android 12 or older version, then use the Boot.img. On the other hand, if your phone came with Android 13 or higher version, then you will have to use the initboot.img file. It does not matter the current OS version. What matters is the OS with which your phone came out of the box. So as of now, since we are rooting Android 14, that does not matter. Just remember the original OS with which your phone came out of the box. So I guess the OnePlus, since OnePlus 8, OnePlus 9, all such phones came with an Android version lower than or up to Android 12, they will use the Boot.img. On the other hand, the OnePlus 11 came with Android 13 out of the box. So that phone should use the initboot.img. So I'm again repeating, if your phone came with Android 12 or older, use the Boot.img, or if it came with Android 13 or higher, then you have to use the initboot.img. As of now, I'm using a OnePlus 9 Pro, so it came with Android 11, so I'll be using the boot.img. But still, I'll show you both the methods. So with that in mind, you will now have to download the firmware. Make sure to download the same firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. So for that, you will have to go to the settings menu, then go to about device, then go to version and have a note of the version number, or so keep a note of the version number and then download the exact same firmware onto your phone. For downloading the firmware, you could use the Oxygen Updater app, or you could also use the OnePlus official website. Apart from that, there exists one more method. It is the MSM tool readback method. In this method, you don't even need to download the firmware. The MSM tool will automatically extract the Boot.img file from your phone. So you could also try this method as well. So either use the MSM tool method, or you could simply use the Fastboot the Oxygen Updater app as well, or apart from that, you could use the OnePlus official site as well. So use any of these three methods to download the firmware. Once you have got the firmware, it will be in a zip file. It will be named something randomly. Let me show you. It will be something like this. So simply extract them onto your PC. Once you have done the extraction, you will get a couple of files, including the payload.bin file. So now we'll have to use this bin file, and then we'll extract this bin file and get hold of the boot.img and the initboot.img file. So we will now have to extract this bin file. For extracting this bin file, we could use quite a few methods, but the most easiest of them all is the Fastboot enhanced tool. So you could check out my guide and get hold of the Fastboot enhanced tool from here. So just a minute, you could download the Fastboot enhanced tool, and so it is given in my guide. So go to this guide, and from this guide, simply download the Fastboot enhanced tool from, it's an open source tool. You could get it from GitHub. So download the tool and extract the tool onto your PC. Once you have got the tool, you will now have to extract the tool anywhere on your PC. So let me show you. In my case, this is the tool. I have done the extraction in C drive as well. So now you will have to copy the payload.bin file from the firmware which is currently installed onto your phone. So copy this bin file and paste the bin file in the Fastboot enhanced folder. So in my case, I have already done that. Once you have pasted the payload bin file, now launch the Fastboot enhanced tool via the exe file. Then go to the payload dumper tab and click on browse. Now select the payload bin file and click on open. After that, go to the partition tab, and from here you will have to choose the Boot.img or the initboot.img file depending on the OS version. So if your phone came with Android 12 or older, use the boot.img. On the other hand, if your phone came with Android 13 or higher version, then use the initboot.img. So in my case, I'm using a OnePlus 9 Pro. So I'll have to use the boot.img file. There will be no init.boot.img file in my firmware, and if you are using a OnePlus 11 device, then there will be an init.boot.img file as well. So in that case, you have to extract that file. For me, I need the boot.img, so simply select the required file and click on extract image. And if you get this prompt, then simply checkmark allow incremental and again click on extract image. Now choose a location, you could choose any location and click on OK. So with this, we have now got the stock boot.img file onto our phone, onto our PC rather. So let's verify the same. So this is the boot.img file which we have just got. It's the stock boot.img corresponding to the firmware which is currently installed onto our phone. So once we have got the firmware, we could now the boot.img file, we could now move ahead with the next step. So now you will have to patch this boot.img file via Magisk. So you could refer to my guide and download the Magisk APK file. So just a minute, I have also linked the official changelog from GitHub. You could verify the same. So make sure to download the Magisk APK file and transfer the file onto your phone. So let me do that as well. It will take only a few seconds. So just a minute. So this is the latest Magisk APK. Copy it and transfer the APK file onto your phone. Once you have got the APK file onto your phone, you will now have to install the app. So let's do that as well. So launch the Magisk app and then let me install it from here, and you might have to enable allow from this source if you're installing an APK third-party app for the first time. Now launch the Magisk app and tap on allow. So with this, we have installed the Magisk app. Apart from that, you will now have to also transfer the stock boot.img file which we have just extracted using the Fastboot enhanced tool. Using this tool which we have just extracted, you also have to transfer this boot.img file onto your phone. So let's do that as well. Just a minute. So with this, we have got the boot.img file and the Magisk file onto our phone. So once you have installed the Magisk file and transferred the boot.img file, we will now have to patch this boot.img file. Likewise, if you are using the init.boot.img file, you will then have to transfer the init.boot file instead of the boot.img file. So make sure to transfer the file accordingly. Once you have done the transfer, tap on install next to Magisk, then tap on select and patch a file. Then you will have to choose the file. Make sure to select the boot.img or the init.boot.img file depending on your phone. So choose the file and then tap on let's go. Magisk will now patch the file and it will take only a few seconds. So let's just wait and we will then check out the result. The patch file will then be placed in the downloads folder on your phone. So as you could see, let me show you that. So this is the Magisk patch file. You will now have to transfer the Magisk patch file onto your PC. So let me copy the Magisk patch file from my phone. This is the Magisk patch boot.img file. Copy it from here. And now you will have to paste the Magisk patch file inside the platform tools folder on your PC. So paste the file here. Once that is done, you will then have to boot your phone using this file. So now comes the most important part. Okay, before that, let's first boot our phone to the Fastboot mode and then I'll discuss the important part. So let's first boot our phone to Fastboot mode. So for that, you will just have to open the CMD window and type in ADB reboot bootloader and hit enter. And your phone should now boot into Fastboot mode in a matter of a few seconds. So let's just wait for the time frame. So currently, as you could see, the bootloader is also unlocked. Under the device stage is showing as unlocked. So with this, the bootloader is also unlocked. So now you are now in the Fastboot mode. So let's first verify the Fastboot connection. So open the CMD window and type in Fastboot devices and hit enter and make sure that you are getting a serial ID. If you are not getting any ID, then you will have to install Fastboot drivers. I have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to my guide and install these drivers. Once that is done, use the Windows X shortcut keys and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that you are getting the Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as the serial ID next to Fastboot, signifies that your PC is able to read the phone in Fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now comes the most important part. So there are two different routes. If you are using the Boot.img, then the process is different. On the other hand, if you're using the init Boot.img file, then the process stands different. As of now, first off, I'll show you for the Boot.img. So let me now show you how to root your phone using the Boot.img file. If you are using the init Boot.img file, then you could skip this section and go to the next section. So as of now, I am using the Boot.img file. It is for those users whose phone came with Android 12 or older versions. So with that said, regarding the Boot.img file, we will first temporarily boot our phone using the Magisk patch Boot.img file, and if everything is working well and good, we will then move ahead and flash the file. It is never recommended to flash it directly because that is quite risky. So let's first temporarily boot our phone using this Magisk patch file and verify the result. So for the ease of convenience, let's rename it to something shorter. So you could rename it to Magisk patch boot mpb will do as well, and the complete name becomes mpb.img. So we will now boot our phone using this patch file and check out the result. So for that, type in fastboot boot magisk patch boot.img and hit enter, and our phone should now boot using this Magisk patch boot.img file. You should never use the fastboot flash command, because if something is wrong with the patch file, then your phone might end up in a boot loop or a soft brick state, and then you will have to use the MSM tool or flash using the fastboot enhance tool. On the other hand, if something is wrong with the patch file and you use the boot command, then a subsequent restart will rectify all the issues, because the patch file will be replaced by the stock file and the issue will be fixed. That is why it's always recommended to use the boot command, and you should never use the flash command. So as you could see, we are now inside the booted to the OS. So this signifies that everything is working well and good. Let's verify the same as well. So let me launch the Magisk app. And the first time launching of Magisk could take up a few additional seconds, which is completely normal and nothing to worry about. So let's just wait for a few more seconds. In the meantime, let me also transfer the root checker app, so you will be able to check the root process. Anyways, as you could see, it's currently installed. So as of now, we have installed the Magisk and we have obtained root. Let me show you via the root checker app as well. You will then get a super user request. So simply let me expand this section and transfer the app onto the phone. So as of now, although we have obtained root, but this root is temporarily and just for one-time usage. Upon the second time you restart the phone, the root will be gone. So our next course of action is to make this root permanent. So as of now, you could see that we have obtained root. Let me verify it as well. And you could see we have got the super user request. So we have obtained root on our phone running the latest Android 14. But as I have told you, this root is temporarily. So now let's make the root permanent. For that, launch the Magisk app, tap on install next to Magisk, then select direct install recommended and tap on let's go. Magisk will now flash the patch Boot.img file, and with this we will obtain permanent root. So it will take only around 8 to 10 seconds at the very max. Once that is done, it's now flashing the new Boot.img file as you could see. So let's wait for the flashing to complete, and once the flashing is complete, you will get a reboot option at the bottom right. You just have to now tap on reboot. So hit the reboot button and your phone will now reboot to the rooted OS, and this time the root will be permanent and you don't have to do anything else. In some cases, in rare cases, even after this, once you launch the Magisk app, it might ask you to install a few additional dependency. If that happens, then just tap on OK. Magisk will undergo a reboot. It will automatically install all the files and your phone will then stay rooted without any issues. So as of now, let's launch the Magisk app and check out the result. So as you could see, we have now obtained root and the root is permanent. So guys, this was rooting the phone, all those phones which came with Android 12 or older version using the Magisk patch Boot.img. Let me now show you the steps for rooting those phones which came with the initboot.img. So the phone which came with Android 13 or higher version out of the box. So for that, make sure to patch the initboot.img file and place the patch initboot.img file inside the platform tools folder. As you could see in my case, likewise you could rename it to MVP or any name of your choice. or since it is the init boot file, you could rename it to Magisk patch mpib will do as well. So rename it to mpib. So this is the Magisk patch init boot file which we have to place inside the platform tools folder. Once that is done, you will have to boot your phone to fastboot mode. And once you have booted your phone to fastboot mode, all you have to do is simply flash this file to the init boot partition. So for flashing, you just have to use this command fastboot flash, then use the init boot. This is the partition and this is the file name. So since in our case, it's the name of the file is Magisk patch init boot. So you could rename the file accordingly and simply use this command and hit enter, and the file will be flashed onto your phone. Once the file is flashed, simply use the fastboot reboot command and your phone will then reboot to the OS and you will have obtained root. You could then launch the Magisk app as well and verify the result as well. So rounding off, there is just one major difference between both these things. So as you might be aware, when we use the boot file or the patch boot file, then we have the option to use the fastboot boot command to verify if the file is working well and good or not. But there is no such option in case of flashing the init Boot.img file. So when we are dealing with the patch init boot file, then you don't have any option. Rather, you will only have to flash it. You cannot use the boot command in case of the patch init boot file. There is no other option. You cannot boot the file to test it for one-time usage. Rather, you would just have to flash it. So you could just use the flash command, fastboot flash init boot and the name of the file, and then use the fastboot reboot command to boot your phone to the OS. On the other hand, if you are dealing with the boot.img file, then you have the option to test the boot file via the fastboot boot command as well. Anyways, this was the major difference between both of these files. So guys, on that note, I round up this video. If you have any queries, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.